Hi there, my name's Tina Spalding and I am a trance channel. I just got a little nudge to do a video for YouTube, and so I will see who comes through. Just take a little breath here and we'll see who shows up. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and it is an important time on your planet to stay out of fear. There are experiences transpiring on your planet that are being brought forth by the fear that has been cultivated by the mass media systems that you all tap into, the movies, the blockbusters, the television shows that are about murder, these kinds of things. You understand that like attracts like, that birds of a feather flock together. Thoughts and experiences, relationships are all the same. You are the creators. You are the ones that are bringing forth your own experiences. And it is so important that you understand this. And when you gaze upon experiences that other beings are having, that you do not own them as your own, because you did not create them, and you in fact are not experiencing them. But if you see a video or watch a news show and you are seeing devastation or negativity and you take it into yourself via that hypnotic device, then it becomes your experience. But only when you use your free will to side with that negative emotion. Your emotional guidance system is the powerhouse of your creativity. And when beings have a particular experience, whether it be good or bad in your opinion, that experience has been brought into physical manifestation by thousands and thousands and thousands of beliefs and ideas acted upon, ruminated upon, thought about, dreamt about, talked about, all of these things. Not necessarily in the specific form that it comes, but in the frequency match that it provides. So if you are in a very materialistic place, for example, concerned about the body all the time, concerned about money all the time, concerned about losing your money all the time, you are going to attract to you experiences of that frequency, which may in fact bring you the very thing that you are afraid of. Why? Because you are afraid of it, you think about it, it's charged with emotion. If you are on a spiritual path and you focus on love and forgiveness and these higher frequency ideas, you will bring to you people, places, things, and experiences of that frequency, unless you tune into someone else's chaos. The same thing happens in personal relationships, for example. If you are in your life calm and happy and doing your thing, your creativity, you've got some goals that you'd like to experience, some good friends, relationships, you've got a life that feels good to you, and you encounter somebody who's very chaotic, whose life is full of drama, you have a choice in that moment to assess the frequency of the potential relationship that you may have with that person. Now, this does not mean that you're not kind and generous to them when you meet them, or that you're not curious about what's happening in their life. But allow people to show you who they are in terms of their frequency and act accordingly. Do not get involved in relationships in the beginning that demonstrate a chaotic nature unless you want to invite that chaos in through free will. Remember, Everything you do is free will. If you are encountering someone who feels like they're on the same page as you, that their life is reflecting, if not exactly the same values, but comparable values, and you find in conversation that you are close to that person in some ways, even though the details may vary a little bit, then we would say it's wise to meet them again. It's wise to perhaps slowly cultivate a more close friendship with them. You must use your intelligence, however, here. And for most of you, the biggest contaminant in your consciousness now is the propaganda that's coming from your mainstream media systems. So we want you to really ask yourself, why do I keep going to look at that violent video of the fires in California, for example, or the starving children in Africa? What is it that I'm looking for there? Does the ego mind, when it looks at the fires, relish the disaster and fear? Does it prompt feelings of deep sadness in you? You must ask yourself, why do you like to feel that? This does not mean that you do not care about your fellow brothers and sisters, but what it means is you understand the laws of creation, and that if you dive into a negative pool, you are going to be affected by that negative pool. If, however, you understand the laws of creation and say, I hear that there are some disasters in the world, you can send love through thought that way. You can truly grasp your power as a creator and say, I do feel sad that people are having bad experiences, but me joining them in that bad vibration is not going to help them. Me holding a high vibration and being a positive contribution to the whole frequency of this planet is going to help them. So we really want to call upon you here to know these laws of creation and understand that you working on your frequency, keeping it as high as possible through the dedicated practices of A Course in Miracles or your chosen path does help the planet. You've been taught that it doesn't, that you must act in the physical world specifically directed to a particular tragedy. That is one way of doing it. And if you want to contribute, let's say you'd like to contribute to the firefighter fund in California, do it with joy, knowing that your joy is the most helpful contribution. So watch what you are watching. Ask yourself why you keep going back to watch disasters. The ego consciousness, which is the default setting on this planet, that's the default setting of separation, wants to see disaster, wants to see suffering, believes that it is the truth. That is why the manipulations on your planet work. That is why most of your TV shows are about investigating murder or natural disasters or evil affecting the world. Yes, there are the good guys who come in to rescue, but the frequency of movies is what we want you to look at. What movies are you going to see? Are they joyful? Are they optimistic? Are they inspiring? Or are they adrenaline and fear-inducing? Even though the good guy may win at the end through killing his enemies, you see, this is the frequency of disaster, and this is the frequency of fear that entire communities, entire cities can be inadvertently magnifying when everyone goes to a big blockbuster movie that's frightening. You must understand the power of your mind. It creates your bodies, it creates your experiences, it in fact creates your entire world. Own your own power through a dedicated spiritual discipline. It is just like going to the gym and beginning to own your body through that physical discipline. It is not always the first thing you want to do, to go to the gym and do your sit-ups or whatever it is you've decided is your physical practice. But over time, with that dedication, with that discipline, you begin to see a physical effect. Now, we will say that the actual thing that's changing your body is your mind, because your mind is what gets you to the gym. It is not your body that gets you to the gym. It is your mind that gets you to the gym. And it is your mind that gets you to your spiritual practice, your forgiveness practice, understanding the laws of creation, using your powerful, God-given creative abilities for good, for love, for raising up humanity. That is my job, to inspire you to turn off the mayhem and focus on life itself, good life, abundant life, generous life, expressing yourself, extending yourself in positive ways. That is my job, to inspire you. And your job is to respond to that inspiration, knowing that an older brother is teaching you something that you don't yet know. Just like a sibling would teach a younger sibling how to do something, that is all I'm doing here, inspiring and teaching you to do something that clearly your society does not know how to do. We are together here on this side, working as hard as we can to get through the miasma, the net of unloving projections that is going on your planet. But you, yes, you, I'm talking to you, can change so much by choosing love, by choosing your beautiful self-expression and expansion of mind, heart, and of course your physical health is a part of this whole process. But your physical health, the decisions you make about what you eat and what you drink and what you put into your body, whether it's in thought or movies or food, all comes from mind. Mind is everything. The food you choose is chosen by your mind. So train your mind to become yours and not property of the mass media systems. If you're in high anxiety, if you feel fear, if you feel doubt, if you feel confusion, look at your diet of entertainment, look at your diet of food, look at your diet of conversation, look at your diet of action, and ask yourself, where can I improve that? Not to make myself a better person, but to raise my frequency and lower my suffering. Because that is what your suffering, anxiety, fear, or depression is telling you, that your dietary input of whatever that is, food, movies, conversation, is off track and low frequency, and that's why you're suffering. The chaos and mayhem that you see out in the world with weather and fires and politics and elections and fear-mongering, they are not going to get less. They are not going to get better in any short-term timeline. They, in fact, are going to be escalating as these increasing energies break down the old system. You must master your own mind, learn how to interpret your emotional guidance system so that you can stay on the path towards the lovely future that you are capable of creating. And if more of you get on that path to creating a beautiful future, it will come into manifestation. But you must own your own contribution. You must understand that you are part of the mass consciousness that together is being manipulated to create chaos. Now, this sounds like a difficult thing. It is not a difficult thing, But it does require vigilance in the beginning. It does require assistance. It does require training. This being has penned several books that go into great detail about many of these mechanisms and why they work the way they do and how to master them. And if you are not yet owner of those books, we suggest that you do purchase those books, because they were written not to make money, which is what some of you will be thinking. This being wrote those books because we asked her to write those books for you. That is what they are for. They are the handbooks for the new earth. And so you must understand what has been done to you. You must understand what is happening, and you must understand how to discern the truth. And you need help, and that is what those books are for. So if you have not yet purchased her books and are relying on videos, we say get the books, make yourself a nice cup of something warm, and turn all of your devices off and go into that quiet, focused space of reading, which really, really downloads information into your consciousness rather than the passive watching of videos all the time. But these videos will get your attention, and then we want to direct you to the discipline of the spiritual practice, because it is only in practice that you will learn to overcome the indoctrinations that your society has forced into your consciousness. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and these are important times for you to master your mind. Do not procrastinate anymore. Buy A Course in Miracles, buy this being's books, and read them and study them and come to understand how you work, how your messaging systems work, and how you are able to assist your planet through her ascension process. We will speak to you again shortly. All right. I will just draw your attention to my website, channelingjesus.com, where you can check out the books, and you can check out our latest retreat offering in Costa Rica for March. And there's information there about all kinds of things. There's some live streaming events that you can sign up for by subscription, and those happen every couple of weeks, where I channel Jesus and Ananda for an hour and a half live, and you can tune in, and we have quite a community growing through that system. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon.